Oh shit, started. Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of WNN. I'm your host, Massive Hater, and tonight we'll be talking about the music production news. In our first story, Cherry Audio has released their Sine synthesizer. Things are getting weird out here. An innovative polysonic synthesizer utilizing diverse wave shaping to bend pure sine waveforms into variable and complex shapes and sounds. With 4 sine wave oscillators, wide-ranging modulation capabilities, and integrated effects, Sine's users can create a distinctive array of unique timbres. It has 4 of everything: 4 LFOs, 14 wave shapes, 4 oscillators, and 4 envelope generators. I feel like we're just getting pranked at this point. And they've also created a forum for people to talk about it. So you couldn't even tell if I made that part up. I did make that part up. Also features a multi-mode filter, an arpeggio, a selection of effects, a drift function, and an 8-band graphic EQ. Let's hear what it sounds like. Interface looks literally insane. They must be working together with Sugar Bytes here. Incredibly easy to use package. I mean, there's only 10,000 knobs on it. You can get Sines for $39, and once there's no longer an intro price, it'll be $59. That boy ain't right. That boy ain't right. That boy ain't right. In our next story, Fatboy Slim thinks everyone needs a 303. Hey mom, Fatboy Slim thinks you need a 303, but he thinks they don't need a clone or an emulation. But he has a song named Everybody Needs a 303. Do they really though? Do they really? So in an interview with Synth History, he still thinks that everybody needs a 303. Most importantly though, people might not know it. What they need is a real 303, not a clone. You can tell a difference between them and they don't quite get. The clones are good, but they're not a 303. Sound a little shillish there. I always love the old gear more than the new gear. I find it more inspiring when you're making electronic music. I think the most inspiring times were when people had very limited equipment. It was what you could sneeze out of that. I feel like there's a bit of irony here because not everyone has money for that. So having a software emulation is kind of working with limited equipment, if you will, or limited software or funds. He goes on to explain that the wealth of options available to him now is actually a block on productivity. That is one of the reasons I don't make so much music anymore. So this is just a massive cope, I feel like. He's just coping. It's like, oh man, if only I still had my 303, man, I would be making so much music right now. Kids these days, they don't get it. If they had a real 303, they'd be making a ton of music like I used to back in the days. Old man yells at missing 303 hardware. Contrasting the simple machines he started on with a modern laptop-based setup, he says it's got every single drum machine, every single synth sound, every single potentially sound known to man, every record that's ever been released, and they're all there. And I just sit and go, pfft. Where do you start? You're right, there's too many options, so I'm gonna just give up. What's the point? You know what? I think there's enough music has been made. I think I'm gonna hang up my hat. Where's my hat? Oh, it's hung up on the wall over there. Huh, you know what time it is. Oh shit, I'm gonna be late for the news. In our next story, Sugar Bytes' GRAINDAD plugin has come out. You may know this because I did a review on it. It came out a few days ago. I always hate when the review comes out before the news story, but you know what I'm saying? GRAINDAD is a real-time effect plugin. Pretty difficult to explain, but essentially it's got a grain engine that lets you play back your audio up to 64 times and manipulate it in various ways. Since I've reviewed it before, I know it's actually one of the, in my opinion, one of the best granular effect plugins out at the moment. What makes it unique is the harvester system, and it's not going to harvest your organs, at least I don't think yet. I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like here on their website really quickly. Fucking fire, dude. They did not pay me to promote this, by the way. No one pays me to promote anything, because fuck them, that's why. It's got a demo, doesn't let you render. It's $99. What more is there to say? Check out my fucking review, bitch. News? In our next story, SERATO Stems claims that they will change DJing forever. Which is crazy because I think you could already do this with some other DJ programs, but apparently you can real-time separate stems from a song that you're mixing. That'll be actually kind of nice. I believe they're using the same sort of technology that they use for all these splitter AI type programs. That's my face right there. I mean, it's not literally my face, but that's my face when I found out about this. I was like, yeah! Let's see it in action here.
Money ain't To be able to hear isolated elements in real time, it's kind of like a dream that most DJs have in their head. There are songs that I've been wanting to separate.
I mean, I guess we'll only know how good it is when we could try it on our own tracks or a variety of tracks, because we're really just hearing it on this one track here, right? I'm actually pretty excited about this. There's quite a few times when I was DJing a couple tracks, kind of was like, man, this would be so sick if I could just take out the melody here or just the vocals out here while mixing two songs together, you know? On one hand, it's like, is this going to make DJing a little too easy? Maybe, but I'd rather things be less limited and more fun than, you know, as limited as possible and, I don't know, getting tedious sometimes, you know, like with how much you may have to look for a track or for something to mix. News. In our next story, it seems like the robots may be taking over. Just kidding. Sorta. Spotify acquires machine learning startup in a bid to flush out misinformation in podcasts. Oh boy. So if you have a controversial opinion, you might be fucked. That's what it seems like, possibly. Spotify announced the following successful partnership with Kinzen that began in 2020. The streaming service has acquired the startup to more effectively deliver a safe, enjoyable experience on our platform around the world. Kinzen, which focuses on using machine learning to report harmful content to human moderators, is said to be capable of identifying problematic content and hate speech in multiple languages and countries. Now working together as one, we'll be able to even further improve our ability to detect and address harmful content, and importantly, in a way that better considers local context. That's really the biggest problem with this sort of thing, is like, how well does it address local context? Spotify recently came under fire from civil rights groups over allegedly allowing white supremacist content to go unchecked on its platform. The Anti-Defamation League reported that its investigation into the platform revealed 40 white supremacist artists from a range of musical genres and subgenres on Spotify. Though, as ADL investigative researcher Callum Farley says, there's likely much more on the platform. They're not going to say who they are. Like, how do we even know it's legit? Yeah, there's some black metal artists that are white supremacists. I mean, it's not really subjective when someone is playing a Hitler speech in their song. I guess my only concern with this is eventually the ADL and Kinzen may run out of actual racist artists and bands to take down. So they may start going after creators who are edgy or even only slightly offensive. And that could become a problem. I mean, obviously, it looks fine right now. Just saying, it seems like something that could be a concern. Anyways, hopefully this misinformation thing works better than Kyle Beats' copyright fucking team that he had. That shit was fucked. News. In our next story, UVI updates FALCON to 2.8. The update features the all-new texture oscillator, 7 new effects, including the shifter, harmonizer, expanded dual delay X, diffuse delay, velvet delay, granulizer, and the vintage-inspired feedback compressor, a collection of new scripts including chip ARP, ostinato ARP, waterfall, slice remixer, strum wheel, and tape mod. It's available for all users of FALCON through the UVI app. Novosti? That's news in Russian. In our next story, Russia has reportedly blocked SoundCloud. Friendship with SoundCloud ended, and friendship with Spotify begins. Looks like Spotify already doesn't work in Russia, so that joke earlier doesn't really work that well. Anyways, they blocked them over misinformation over the Ukraine war. Today's theme is misinformation, apparently, and I'm going to be providing lots of it. Access to the service will be restored once those materials are removed, said communications watchdog. Extremely Russian name. Russian authorities have reportedly blocked access to SoundCloud for allegedly spreading false information about special military operation in Ukraine. So, like, was it just like some random podcast or something? Or like, was it like SoundCloud itself saying this? I don't know. I'm reading about it and I can't really tell whether it was SoundCloud that did it or just some random user. Because if it's just some random user, then anyone can go on there and just say whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, I'm assuming it was probably SoundCloud that wrote up something in their blog or like a little quote or something. Russia didn't like it, I guess. Is it actually misinformation? I don't know. There's not enough information here. Publication of materials containing false information about the essence of the special military operation in Ukraine, the form in which the operation is conducted, methods of combat actions, attacks on civilian population, strikes on civilian infrastructure about numerous deaths among the civilian population at the hands of Russian soldiers. Such fake information is subject to immediate blocking under the law. There's something funny about saying all that than being like, we're gonna block you. You're blocked, buddy. Live from the editing room, we have some breaking news. I just got word that a new strange plugin dropped from SAMPLESON. Let's check it out. All right, so it's called ALIENIZE. It's got aliens in the forest. $39. Looks pretty simple to use. Let's see what this is like here. Kind of feels like a gimmick to me. I mean, you pay money for this? So you just move your cursor over this alien stock image here, and it modulates the parameters. Oh boy. This sucks. This fucking sucks. You mean I stop editing for this? What the hell, man? What the I mean, this would be okay if it was a free plugin, but this is almost certainly not worth any sort of money, because you could actually control the parameters a lot better with a real synth. I don't know, it's just a big fucking gimmick. Imagine pulling up to the studio with your new track and you show it off and they're like, what'd you use to make that? And you show them this monstrosity. You're gonna get banned. Anyways, that's it for the news I had for you tonight. I'm your host, Massive Hater. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of WNN, your trusted music production news source on YouTube. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to consider checking out my other videos, liking, and subscribing. If I get to 25,000 by the end of the year, I will shave my head. Yeah, you heard that right. I will shave this head. But anyways, consider checking out my Twitter, Instagram, almost have Facebook there. Gross. And my second channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.